With the purpose of knowing what is the judicial situation of the works in Carrera 13, the Departmental Assembly seeks that the local government delivers a report on the status of the process that have paralyzed the work since 2018.
Deputy and President of the Assembly, Orly Rosso, presented a proposition through which an open town hall meeting between the government and the community is sought, with the purpose that the latter get to know about the legal situation of Carrera 13, which presents a remarkable deterioration.
Since approximately 51% of the population of the archipelago travels through this road, because the great majority of the citizens from the sectors of Guineahen, Serrania, Schoolhouse, Rock Crusher, Lax Bight, Laureles, among others, are concentrated there. It is important to know what actions the government has been implementing and to analyze when this road can be paved. It is important that the community knows firsthand what Governor Everett Harkins will say in an open town hall meeting that will be held in the sector of Guineahen, so that the community has clear information and can more or less have an approximate date of when these works will be starting. A meeting that seeks to revive the Schoolhouse Road, rains, floods, and also to resolve the flooding by the warehouse that is near the airport.
With 11 positive votes, the proposal of an open town hall meeting was approved, which according to the Departmental Duma would be held in the sector of Carrera 13 with the presence of the departmental government and the companies that have been intervening in the area. The date will be defined by the Assembly in the coming days.
The social enterprise of the State Departmental Hospital is focusing on increasing the number of people vaccinated in the archipelago. This is why they're carrying out a new vaccination campaign.
The COVID-19 vaccination day began at 8 a.m. It is available at the Morgan Cannon Square so that people can complete or start their vaccination schedule. Vaccination coordinator Lina Navarro explains the importance of people attending the COVID-19 vaccination points.
It is very important because we want to have our community protected. We want to encourage parents to take their children to start or complete their vaccination schedule. We have a number of biologicals for the community to access, and I encourage them to start or complete their vaccination schedule.
The campaign will be held on March 5th, 7th, and 8th, and it is expected that all interested parties will attend and complete their vaccination schedule.
And in other news, today in the morning hours, the cruise ship Seabourn Ovation arrived for the third time. At this time, we're connected with Alice Medina, who from the dock of the call give us more information about this arrival.
Hello, Lisa and all the TV viewers who they connect right now with us in Teleislas News. I say hello from here, from the Cove, because the third cruise ship just come to our island. In this occasion is the Seabourn Ovation, who bring more than 800 passengers between tripulands. Also, we talked to the Secretary of Tourism office of our department to know about the importance of the arrival of this third cruise ship.
Effectively, on this occasion, we are receiving the Seabourn cruise ship. It is coming for the third time since they came not too long ago. They have approximately 800 people between crew and passengers. They came from Belize with destination to Costa Rica, Puerto Limon. They are already here. They are going to leave the island at 6 p.m. It is very important for the economy since it brings in another type of tourists. That is what the government expects, since they are tourists that do not bring garbage, do not bring disorder. And the people of the island, like the taxi drivers, service providers at the Morgan Cave, downtown area, the museum, Rocky Key, and in general, all the island benefits from this kind of tourism.
The tourism will visit different important points of our island. In most central broadcast, we will bring more impression of the arrival of this cruise ship. We talk to the tourism and we also talk to the tourist providers. Continue this in studio with more information.
Thank you, Alice. And our Environmental Corporation is present at the National Summit of Regional Autonomous Corporations and Sustainable Development. In addition, the director, Arnie Britton, was appointed as the national representative of these corporations.
In the framework of the Assembly of Asocars and the National Summit of Regional Autonomous Corporation and Sustainable Development, which takes place in Puerto Gaitán, Meta, yesterday, March 3rd, Worldwide Day, the CARS announced that thanks to the articulated work with the territorial entities, police, army, navy, and community, among others, 21,879 animals was released, 70% more than in 2020, in which 12,659 animals were returned to their habitat. Also at this meeting, the General Director Coralina Arnebrito was elected as the new representative of the country's Environmental Corporation to the Board of Directors of the Environmental Compensation Fund. During his term, he will be accompanied by Plinio Rolando Forrero, the Director of Corpo Chivor, as his substitute. In this region, at the confluence of the Orinoquia and Amazonia, the CARS of the country make a call to protect the wildlife species and present concrete results of their management. By 2021, they received 38,140 animals, of which 13,800 are reptiles, 12,759 birds, 8,215 mammals, 55 amphibians, and 3,311 others. The CARS conduct constant operation in response to the complaints from the country and the authorities, while intensifying operation against the commercialization and illegal trafficking of wild fauna and flora, as well as environmental educational activities.
And in order to reach all Cotelco associates in an address to know the necessary requirements to obtain the sanitary concept, the Secretariat of Government conducted training on this subject.
The Secretariat of Health held the first training session with the representatives of the establishments associated with Cotelco, with the purpose of socializing the necessary requirements to obtain the sanitary concept in 2022 in the areas of lodging, food, aesthetic center, and spa of the respective temporary housing.
From the departmental government through the Secretariat of Health, we are working on a workshop, an awareness-raising workshop, and we have chosen as the main topic the awareness raising on health surveillance. This surveillance is aimed at hotel establishments and is directed and focused on temporary housing, all those establishments whose main activity is lodging. Therefore, we are working with all the guilds associated with Cotelco.
A new training will be held this March aimed at establishments that develop lodging activities.
We want to extend an invitation for the 7th, 8th, and 9th, where we will work with establishments called Posadas Nativas, native lodgings, other unions that are organized, such as lodgings, apartments, and other establishments that develop lodging activities but are not members of a specific group.
The official of the Secretariat of Health concludes that it is important for hoteliers and companies that develop lodging activities to be clear about health regulations.
And in order to gain an in-depth understanding of the impact of the armed conflict and drug trafficking on the islands, the Truth Commission makes a visit to the island.
In compliance with its objectives, which are basically to contribute to the clarification, promote recognition, and coexistence in the territories, the Truth Commission, together with the Center for Afro-Diasporic Studies of the ICESI University, is conducting a study that will develop a report on the impact of the armed conflict and drug trafficking in which the archipelago will be included, seeking to know what events were the triggers of violence on the island and in turn find a resolution, reparation, and non-repetition of the crimes committed. These activities are expected to find the patterns of violence that have significantly harmed the inhabitants of the islands. It should be recalled that among the objectives of the Commission is to create structural conditions for the coexistence of all Colombians and lay the foundations for non-repetition, reconciliation, and stable and lasting peace. The meeting, to which representatives of some entities and authorities on the islands were invited, was carried out satisfactorily.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news today in our brief news section.
The Secretariat of Finance, Luis Villoria, on behalf of the departmental government, accompanied the delivery of school kits as a donation by the bank Ave Villas to the students of the Esfuerzo School. With these elements, it is sought that children and adolescents of the institution can enjoy the return to in-person classes with all the necessary school elements. The Carabineros group of the National Police leads the campaign in the department against theft, which seeks to prevent this crime in all its forms. The officers provided recommendations to tourists to take care of the items such as bags and purses in public spaces, especially before entering the sea. With this activity, they seek to reduce the rates of theft by opportunity factor. The Environmental Corporation Coralina held a talk with farmers of the archipelago about the negative impact of logging and burning of trees. The environmental entity precised on the importance of conserving shrubs and trees for the Biosphere Reserve sea flower.